What's going on, y'all? We're back. I know it's been a few weeks and everything, but, wound up coming down with a bit of a bug. I'm not trying to make that an excuse or anything, but at the same time, it's just really, really tough to want to actually put any of this together when, I'm barely even feeling like I can hold myself up or whatever the case may be. And fortunately, I was able to get through that. It wasn't too much of an issue. And I probably could have gotten back onto things a little bit quicker. I kind of felt like there are some things that, in all honesty, I am looking to make some significant changes, not only here, but with a lot of things, actually just definitely some significant changes with my life, but that's really neither here nor there where any of this is concerned. More than anything else, I just wanted to see about things I can do to actually improve everything that I've been working on with not even content, but just the overall presentation. So again, definitely look forward to some things that I look to do here to just improve upon that, and really that's about all I know to say. Of course, I've talked about it. Live stream will be happening, and who knows, you might actually see me doing some stuff on TikTok here, but that's really neither here nor there. I just wanted to take a moment or two before I got into things to just kind of go over that a bit, because again, I know I've been out for literally just a bit over 22 days to be exact is actually the count to what I have here, but I honestly hope that it hasn't been too much of a detractor. I do apologize for that all the same. But with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and jump right into things. And of course, what we want to talk about here is going to actually start with one Logan Paul. And of course, this is simply because of the fact that it actually went around and it was talked about that this could actually possibly be John Cena's last WrestleMania match, and a lot of people are real sour on that. I don't particularly blame them for that. And if I'm being perfectly honest, it actually reeks of Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin a few years back. I want to say that was WrestleMania 39, maybe. Not 39, not WrestleMania 36. May have been 34. I'm really not sure, but whatever year it was that it was Kurt Angle's last match, it wound up being Baron Corbin. People shitted on that aplenty. I don't remember whether or not I was one of them. I definitely don't disagree with anyone for wanting to just really crap all over it. I already said shit, but whatever. Point I'm trying to make here is that it just was something that many folks were sour on, and I don't really blame them for that. I take nothing away from Baron Corbin, in all honesty. I think he actually has proven to be a decently fantastic performer. I'm not going to go as far as saying that he was ever necessarily a main event player. Could he have been that at one point or another? Possibly, but that's really neither here nor there. But the truth of the matter is that you kind of got to look at Logan Paul in that same light, because I don't know if he's necessarily ever going to see that main event status. Sure, he's actually had main event performances with Roman Reigns, and I want to say a couple of others. I just can't really remember who or when, but certainly the one with Roman Reigns at whatever Saudi show that was. Obviously, I don't care about that. But the notion of him being Cena's last WrestleMania match doesn't make an awful lot of sense. And in all honesty, I think it would be a hell of a match, because Logan Paul, as we've established, is really, for everything that we expected, phenomenal in-ring performer. I mean, we've really got to be honest about that. I was thinking about his match a couple of years ago at WrestleMania with Seth Rollins, which that actually was WrestleMania 39. He did a fantastic job. And it's not to say that any other time with Cena it won't be the case, but not at WrestleMania. I just don't see that being the move, especially with that being Cena's last one. And moreover, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were talking about him possibly winning the WWE title. But I think that if this is something that's being talked about, we got to consider that we may see The Rock in the long run. Nonetheless, we're going to move right along, and of course we're going to talk a little bit about, well, obviously you see this little interesting little number that they came up with here on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I'm really going to be quick about this one. And it's really a couple of things for me. One, I don't know necessarily that you should ever do any kind of a reboot with the NWO, especially with the NWO name, the New World Order specifically. If you want it to be something along those lines, particularly what I felt like they were trying to do with what at the time was Retribution, only it just wasn't really done correctly, and obviously that was a Vince McMahon thing, but all the same, you know, this is something to where I gotta be perfectly honest when it comes to them, and this is something I've actually had a lot of discussion with my best friend Darren about this. It all ties into a lot of things where authority figures have wronged these individuals, which I guess in a lot of ways they have, but the biggest problem that I have with that is that even if that's the case and it's something, it's supposed to be something that's supposed to translate into whatever storyline it's supposed to be in the long run, I really don't give a fuck. I really couldn't care less either way. Especially if we're talking about this being pertaining to any kind of a push for whether it be Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, or even Drew McIntyre. And I'm not saying no to that, but the reason I don't care is because I don't see them actually winning the world title. Any of them winning the world title in 2025. That's just the reality. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it really means nothing. Again, you have the potential of The Rock coming back to challenge Cody Rhodes, and if it's not that, I'm thinking it's probably going to be Cena, and he winds up winning. But either way, and then you got to couple that with the fact that Punk wants to be in the main event at WrestleMania, and more than likely that's going to involve the World Heavyweight title. So with all that being the case, I can't really see any reason to care about this in the long run. The only reason I care about all this and everything that's going on with whatever you want to call this is really more pertaining to the New Day, because I believe we're going to get Xavier Woods as the world champion at some point. But that's all I have on that. And with that, I want to talk about something that really matters. Netflix for the fucking win, baby. Obviously, if you were watching yesterday, we had 2 NFL Christmas games, specifically the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. Both, of course, wound up being blowouts or situations where the winning teams ended up running away with the games, but that's not the point. The point of the matter here is that this is great because everything seemed to have went down pretty much without a hitch. There were no buffering issues, much like that fake-ass Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. And really, even for as bad a performance as you got from the Steelers and the Texans respectively, I actually enjoyed the notion of seeing this. I, of course, enjoyed the fact that the pregame panel that we had, which include Kay Adams, which is really, really interesting to me because a lot of this was actually an NFL Network presentation to some degree. It was just that it was on Netflix. And, of course, those who know the history where Kay Adams is concerned, where the NFL Network is concerned, she was the original host of the Good Morning Football program, which is now hosted by Jamie Erdahl, who actually did sideline work at the Ravens-Texans game. But really all of that's aside from the point. it's good because this is definitely going to be very, very meaningful for when Monday Night Raw finally airs on Netflix on January 6th. And to me, I think this is really huge, especially again coming off of that, but also given the fact that there were so many issues with the Logan Paul Mike Tyson, or excuse me, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, which I didn't watch personally, nor do I care to, nor could you ever pay me enough to give a shit about that. But the bottom line is, I feel like this is going to be really, really good in terms of what we can expect as far as one, quality, but also more importantly the fact that I think it's proof like no other that anything as far as live events moving forward that should take place on Netflix, I would dare say that it's actually going to go really, really smoothly moving forward, and I see no other reason to believe otherwise. But nonetheless, that's where I'm going to leave it at there. Let me know what y'all think down below, and of course, you know what it is. Give me that like, share, subscribe. Again, apologies for my absence. I'm trying to cut down on those as best I can, but hey, shit gets shaky sometimes. What can I say? With that being said, y'all know what it is. This has been your time with A&J, and I thank you for spending it with me.